He cares about every American, not just some. And he cares about the values that make this country exceptional. I know Joe Biden. He does not have a mean-spirited bone in his body. He cares about everybody's story. He wants to hear everybody's voice. He tries to live by the values that we cherish: honesty and hard work, kindness and humility, responsibility, helping out somebody who's having a hard time. You know, when I hear this kind of phony, macho, you know, acting tough, snarling all the time, that's not what it used to be to be a man, a father, a leader. You didn't go around bragging all the time. You didn't go around putting other people down. And Joe understands that. And when you elect Joe, that's what you'll see reflected in the White House. And these shouldn't be Republican values or Democratic values. They're what our parents taught us, what our grandparents taught us. It's what we still try to pass on to our kids. They're not white values or black values or Latino or Asian or Native American values. They're American values. And we have to reclaim them. But to do that, we're going to have to turn out like never before. To reclaim what's best in this country, we can leave no doubt. We cannot afford to be complacent. Not this time. Not in this election. Last time we were complacent, some of us. Some of us said, you know, I don't need to bother voting. And listen, I understand why Americans get frustrated sometimes. They think government might not make a difference. Because government's not perfect. Elected officials, even the best, aren't perfect. Government's not going to solve every problem, but it can make things better. A president can't solve every economic problem by himself, but if we elect people like Gary Peters and Brenda Lawrence and Alyssa Slotkin and Haley Stevens, and we get a House and a Senate that's more focused on working people and getting you the help you need, we can make things better. It can make a difference. Some more folks will get jobs. Some young people will get more opportunity. Some folks will be able to afford a college education. Some folks will be able to go to and get an apprenticeship and get a trade. You know, a president by himself can't eliminate all racial bias in our criminal justice system. Electing me didn't make us post-racial. But you know what? It can, if we elect district attorneys and state's attorneys and sheriffs focused on equality and justice, and we have a Justice Department that reinvigorates the Civil Rights Division, it can make things better, and then maybe some folks won't be subject to some of the tragedies that we've seen over these last few months. And that's what voting's about. It's not about making things perfect. It's about making things better. And better's good. Putting us on track so that a generation from now we can look back and say, you know what, right about then we turned the corner and we started back on a better trajectory. The fact that we don't get 100% of what we want is not a good reason not to vote. It's a reason to keep voting until we do get it right. You know, on average, just over 50% of us vote. 50%. You've got almost half of eligible voters not voting. And so those are some of the same folks complaining. But imagine if 60% of us vote. Imagine if 70% of us vote. Imagine January 20th, and we swear in a president and a vice president who have a plan to get us out of this mess, who care about working Americans, and have a plan to help you start getting ahead, who believe in science, who have a plan to protect this planet for our kids, who believe in racial equality, and are willing to do the work to bring us closer to an America where no matter what we look like or where we come from or who we love or how much money we got, everybody's got dignity. Everybody's treated with respect. Everybody's got a chance to raise a family. Michigan, that can happen. And I'm asking you to remember what this country can be. The thing is, though, we can't just imagine a better future. We've got to fight for it. We got to out-hustle the other side. We got to get to work. We got to vote up and down the ticket like never before. We've got to leave no doubt about who we are and what this country stands for. And if we do, we will send Gary Peters back to the Senate. We'll send Brenda Lawrence and Alyssa Slotkin and Hallie Stevens back to the House. And we will elect a man who loves this country, who cares about you, who will fight for every single one of us. My friend, a real leader, the next president of the United States of America, Joe Biden!